beautiful people, it's your girl T, and I am here to do part 2 of Mein Fruhlings Spaziergang using Crayola colored pencils. Like I said in the first video, we're going to be just using all Crayola, no pastels, no markers, just Crayola. This is a challenge to myself to see, if I can work them in this book or in any other book after this, just using them by themselves. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you saw the first video, you know that I have been working on the buildings, and I use, tans and taupe colors, almond, kind of like muted kind of earth tone colors. So if you haven't seen that one and you want to know how I did these buildings, I will link the first video in the description section. But just to recap, I decided to actually use those same 6 colors throughout the whole scheme of the buildings, only because these two were kind of the same colors here, and I just wanted to just give them a more unified look. So I added some of the pink in the building, little accents down here and here, and just kind of work with that color just a little bit more in the other 2 buildings. Okay, so what we're going to work on tonight are the big flowers, this flowers over here. And then part 3 should just be the remaining, the background, the clouds, butterflies, and these 2 little things here. Maybe this here, because I don't know what this is yet. I'm going to make up whatever I want it to be, but then working on that little ladybug as well and the butterfly. All right, so let me go ahead and tell you what colors I'm using. I'll be using 9 colors. They will flash at the bottom of the screen. First color I'm using is going to be Palm Leaf. Second color, Jade Green. Third color, Olive. I'll be also using Almond, Peach, Cantaloupe, Wild Blue Yonder, Cauliflower, and Cerulean. Yeah, Cerulean. All right, so we're going to start with the leaves. I always like to do the leaves first. That's just me. And then we'll get on to the flowers. So let me go ahead and zoom in. And I will get my page here to put behind this. All right, so we'll get started on those leaves. All right, well, I hope everybody had a great weekend. I traveled, or me and my family, we traveled up to Virginia for a birthday party. And it was very nice. It was like a birthday brunch. And I actually helped with making sandwiches. That was not fun because we had to cut the crust off of the bread and then cut them in quarters to make little finger sandwiches. That's the hardest part of making sandwiches for things like that. So I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, the first color I'm starting off with is Palm Leaf. Again, that's Palm Leaf. And I'm actually going to color all of these with the same 3 green colors that I have. And I'm just doing the first light layer. And I'm working fast because I don't want these videos to be too long. They're getting to be almost an hour. And I think that is a little bit too long because some people don't have that much time to watch. However, if I work fast, I may make a mistake, but these are Crayolas and I can erase them. But if I'm working lightly like this, It really is not going to matter if I mess up, because you may not be able to see it. And if you can, I'll erase it. All right, so it looks like this might be sitting on a little branch. It has to be. So let me, I'm going to assume that there's a branch under here, just to there. And we'll color this one as well. Anything that looks like a branch, stem, leaf will be hit with this palm leaf. And if you're wondering how I got my pencil tips so pointy, I am sharpening these with the Derwent Super Point. And I love how they sharpen all the pencils that I use. When I'm just working like in the bed or whatever, like working on a picture and I'm sitting in bed, I won't use the Derwent unless the pencil sharpener I'm using keeps breaking the leads. Then I'll get up and sharpen the pencil with the Derwent. But for the most part, I use that Derwent for all sharpening. When I want really super long tip. Otherwise, I'll use my comb sharpeners while I'm working in bed, or my Faber-Castell sharpener. That one works really well too. All right, so we have the first light layer, and that is again palm leaf. Second color I'm using is going to be Jade Green. And I'm just going to go in here and add some Jade Green to, you know, the leaves where I think it would be. Now this, you know, there's really no method to this. I mean, it's kind of pretty much wherever you want, but if you're working with light source, like if you say your light source is coming from this angle, you want to make sure that, you know, if your light's coming this way, your shading's on the back end on this side. If your light's coming this angle, then your shading is on this side of the object. My light source is kind of like coming straight on. So I'll have highlights kind of in the center, like here. You see how it's in the center? This is on the edge, but that's okay. But in the center, you see these little highlights. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just gonna add this Jade Green. But yeah, so we went out of town. It was pretty fun. We had, there was a place called Rita's Ice. I don't know if any of you guys have that where you live, but they actually had one here in Wake County, and they closed it, and then we didn't have it for a long time, and then they decided to put one in a place called Cary, which is about 35 to 40 minutes from me. And so it's Italian ice, and it's something that I like to get. But so of course, when we get there, I'm like, okay, you guys, before we leave, we have to get Italian ice. It's just something that I like to get because it's a treat. And I just love the different Italian ice flavors. So we went and got that before we left. But it was really nice to see family and stuff like that. You know, my in-laws. This is my husband's family. It was nice to see everybody, see my nephews and stuff. Spend time with them. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law. Really nice. All right, so just going in here and working on this. I decided to take my favorite pastels to work on a page in Magical Dawn that I'm doing for Color Your Hoard. And I got a lot done. I'm actually taking a longer, it's taking me longer to do this page for some reason. And I think it's because I'm kind of intimidated by this book. And I just want to make sure I take my time and don't like mess the book up, mess up my page. And it's just taking me a long time. And so I'm getting a little sick of it right now. So I'll probably not work on that for a couple days. And work on some other pages for Color Your Hoard. So, but again, just putting a nice light layer of this Jade Green. Okay. We're working with Crayolas. Yes. If you don't have a lot of money to buy these expensive, colored pencils that you see a lot of colorists using, don't fret, because there are still nice budget-friendly pencils out there. And my next series that I'm going to be doing will be using Marco Raffine, which I think are wonderful, budget brand to get. If you're on a budget, it's fine, I'm on a budget as well. A lot of the stuff that I've accumulated were, a couple years ago. And so now, when I had to go get ready to buy a house, I had to stop, getting all those expensive things. And I waited sometimes till tax return time to get some things. I go online and search for people selling used tools, used colored pencils, and there are a lot of people out there selling used colored pencils, so you can negotiate. You don't have to pay the price that you'd see on like Amazon. Sometimes these people who are selling these colored pencils haven't even used them. You'd be surprised. So if you're someone on a budget and you want to get some Prismacolors, or you want to try some other, expensive brands, you may want to try just, if you don't want to buy used, buying them open stock and just getting a few colors at a time. And a lot of the places like Dick Blick sell them open stock. I know there's Carpe Diem markers. It sells, I know they sell Prismacolors open stock. That's where I had to get mine, because when I was getting my Prismacolors, I had been gifted a set of 72 for Christmas, and so I had to get the other ones open stock to make the 150. Well, Dick Blick was completely sold out of them, because I think they were like a really hot commodity at the time I was trying to get them, and almost every color was sold out, and I was so upset because I really wanted to complete that set. So I ended up having to search them somewhere else, and somebody told me, hey, CarpeDiemMarkers.com has them open stock, and they were actually cheaper than Dick Blick. I don't know if that's the case now, but I got them for like 99 cents each. So I bought all the rest that I needed, open stock from them. So that was pretty nice. But then around Christmas time, I think that same year, they had the 150 set. The 150 set for like, I think it was Black Friday, was like a $40-something, $50, something like that. And I was like, oh my God. So I bought the 150 set. Why? I don't know. But I do use Prismacolor a lot. So, and I noticed how quickly they, were running, getting low as I was using them. And this was before I actually found out about the Derwent pencil sharpener. So I decided to go with the I went and got that, you know, whole 150 set because I was like, oh my God, I don't want to have to buy these open stock again. So let me just get these as backup. And then I found out about this lovely sharpener, and it saved a lot of my Prismacolors because they were just like, I'd sharpen them and they'd be like halfway, you know, only half left after sharpening. I'm like, I didn't even use this pencil. So it was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. What are we gonna do? You know, and so I saw someone on another group post about those, that sharpener, and I said, I'm gonna try it. Because I was looking at the reviews and people were loving it. And yes, they are a lifesaver for your pencils. And it's probably gonna be any manual helical pencil sharpener. There's many brands out there. I just so happen to get Derwent because I have a lot of Derwent supplies. So I was like, well, let me get the Derwent and I'll try it. And it was like $22 or $25. And I decided to go ahead and get it. And it works lovely. All right, guys. So that's the second layer using Jade Green. Now we're going to the third layer, and this is going to be olive, and I'm going to be using this to just darken up some areas, and hopefully it will take it. I didn't press too hard with the other colors, so hopefully we'll get lucky and it'll show up here. Yeah, so just some areas where I want to see a little darker. I'll add this olive green. And it's usually going to be at the tip, on the tips, and right here at the base where the leaf comes out from the flower. And pretty much the way that I chose that is I chose my lightest color, a medium or mid-range color of the green, and then the darkest green that I wanted to use. Now, if you don't have the Crayola 100 set, you can still try to do this with maybe a 50 by just using the greens that you have available, choosing the lightest, the middle, and then your darkest. And if you are looking to purchase the 100 set or the 120 set, there will be a link in the description to those on Amazon. Hope that you guys are enjoying this series. I really am. You know, I really want to do some, you know, budget friendly pencils for people because, you know, there's a lot of people out there just getting started and they may not want to spend all that money because they're not sure if they really like this coloring. They're just interested in it, you know. So I thought I'd show people how to use these nice colored pencils. Now Crayola also has the Crayola Color Escapes. I also have those. They're softer than these. I absolutely love those too. Crayola is making really good products for adult coloring, so you can go on their website. I think they do sell them on Amazon, but they even have that set. When I bought mine, they even had that set available in a wooden box. I didn't want the wooden box for mine because I like pencil wraps and zippered pencil cases instead of boxes. So I opted not to get that, and it was cheaper because I opted not to get the box. But if you like boxes, they sell them in the boxes as well. I'm not sure if they still are selling those, but you know, if you can't find it and you do want it, I'm sure you can go on Amazon. Someone will be selling that, you know, having that for sale. Let me just make sure I'm still in frame. And I'm not. Been out of frame. This is horrible. I'm sorry, guys. I hate when that happens. I got to get myself some kind of guide to know that I'm out of frame. So I'm going to just... I'm so sorry, guys. I'm going to keep going regardless, okay? So just basically, again, you're going to see what I've been doing over here. So basically, just taking this darkest color and giving it, putting some on the tips, and also again down here. Okay, and I'm going to do that on all of the leaves. I'm going to try to keep it simple. Now, a word about these Crayola, of course, because they're more like student or children's color pencils. They don't offer light fast. They don't have any light fastness. So if you're coloring something for someone as a gift, it will fade over time, and that is because it's not a professional or artist grade color pencil. Okay. So again, and darken this stem up a little bit, coming down, and then down here where it seems to get small, right in here and here. I'm gonna do this tip of this leaf. Put some of that, bring it down just a little bit. And then what will happen is once I'm done shading, doing this shading here, I'm going to take my lightest color and go back over this little lightly. Trying not to cover up the middle green with too much of the dark, because that can happen too. If you want that to show, you don't want to, you want to make sure you're watching how much of that dark green you put on there. And down in these areas where the leaf is overlapping another leaf, you can make that dark. It's kind of like it's behind there, so you know it's okay to do that, because it's giving a shadow, kind of. You can make a shadow. Same here. All right. Oh, forgot a leaf. Gonna go back to the Jade Green and just get this leaf right here with the middle green going at the tip and the base. Okay, and I'm gonna go back to the olive. Well, on Wednesday, guys, my job is doing an employee appreciation, and we are having a cornhole tournament. Now, let me tell you, the only time I play cornhole is when we have this employee appreciation. I do not play that game. I have no clue what I'm doing but tossing bean bags. I don't keep score. I tell my partner, hey, I don't really know this game. You know, either the other team can keep score. Hopefully somebody knows how to score. Because I don't know how to score it. So, I mean, it's a simple game, but it's just not something I play, so I always forget. You know, while we're playing the game, for a couple rounds, I'll be like, oh, I made this many points. But to begin with, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't start getting warmed up until like almost the end of the game. That's bad. But this year, so they pair you up with, you know, people or a teammate that somebody you don't necessarily work closely with to get you to kind of like, you know, chat it up with them while you're out there, just having a good time, you know? So this year, guys, I am teamed up with my general manager, the big boss. And he is so good at this game. So I'm going to have to go see him tomorrow. I'm going to go to his office and say, Ray, I am no good at this game. So please don't get upset with me if we don't win. Because I think he's like one of the ones who makes it to like the last two teams. And, you know, they end up winning money. So we'll give you guys an update on that on my next video, because I don't think I'm going to do too well. He's a cool guy. He's so cool. He's not going to get upset, but I just want to warn him, you know, I'm not good. But I thought about getting one of those cornhole games for our backyard because it is fun, you know, it's a fun game. And it gets you outside, you know, and spending time with family and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get it. I found some online that have like custom boards and stuff where you can pick teams or sayings and different things like that. So I'm thinking about doing that. All right, so now I'm going to go with my lightest color, which was the, excuse me, palm leaf. And I'm just going to go over each leaf very lightly. Just very lightly, because I kind of like how light that is. Very lightly. Okay. I'm just going over the whole leaf. Very lightly. Stem 2. Don't want to forget the stems. Any of you guys play cornhole? If you do, tell me how good you are. Do you have any tips and tricks for this game? Is there any special way you're supposed to toss the bean bag? Because I kind of like, I change it up. I palm the whole thing and like toss it in the air. Then I tried tossing it by the corner. I mean, and I don't know which way is the way to actually toss it. I know you toss it underhand, so you're not overhanding it, but like, any tips and tricks? Anybody play that game? All right, so we're just adding some more of the light. The lightest green, which again is palm leaf. you guys know anybody who's just starting in coloring and doesn't you want and has Crayola, go ahead and share the video with them so they can take a look at this video and see how you can really get some nice coloring with these pencils. Okay, just takes a little patience and layering. Okay, so now we're going to work on the big flowers right here, and they're going to be both the same color. So we're going to be using Almond as the first color. Okay, so I'm just going to lightly add this almond to all of these petals. And sorry guys, I just looked at the time. This video is not going to be under probably an hour. And that's because of the layering. If I was doing straight coloring, then that'd be a different story. But I'm not going to do straight coloring in this one. And straight coloring, for those who are watching, you're like, what does that mean? Straight coloring means you're just coloring it. You're not fussing with any shading. You're just coloring it. Filling in all the white with one color. No shading. No shading whatsoever. Kind of going quick here. No, I've already done these, but they're not. Almond's a very light color. It's not really showing up when I'm doing it so light, so I'm just pressing a little bit harder to make that show up a little more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and speed through this section here, coloring the base layer, okay? Try to save on some time. So enjoy the music. So we put the first layer of almond, and now we're going to our second color, which is going to be peach. So I'm just putting this peach here, lightly putting this peach on this petal, on the inside of these petals here, and then I will start the shading process for these. I know some people kind of like to work one flower petal at a time, going back and forth between colors. I don't like doing that because when I put the pencil down, I kind of want to be done with that pencil to move on to the next color. So you'll see that I'll do first layers and do all the shading, you know, with that one color for everything that's going to be using that color before I actually put it down. So you won't see me use those greens again in this section. I'm totally done with green, unless I find something I missed. Okay, so I've put the peach in these sections here, and now I'm going to go in and do some shading. See, here it looks, see this little line here? That's like an indication that you can do some shading there. Okay, and you can just bring that from here out. That's what I do. I mean, you can, if you don't want to do it that way, you don't have to, but that's what I do. Bring that kind of out to the center. Just pulling that in the center here, leaving like a light outside, a light layer there. Or not a layer, but a highlight. So again, coming here, pulling it straight up, and leaving this area here just almond. Doing the same thing. Coming here. And I'm working fast, guys, I'm sorry. So once I do this one flower, I'm going to go ahead and speed through this section as well. Anybody have any big plans for Mother's Day? Anybody going out of town, doing any kind of trip to see your children, your grown children, if you have grown children? We're probably going to be going out to the country for a Mother's Day cookout. It's something that happens every year. My husband's father's side, we live out in the country here in North Carolina, and they do this kind of, well, it's not really the country, but like a town, but they do a Mother's Day cookout. and it's really nice. A lot of people, a lot of food, a lot of talking, laughing, just, you know, and it's not just for family. You can bring your, you know, they bring their friends to show up. So it's really nice. So one year we brought one of our friends from church, or a couple from church, with us, and they really enjoyed it. They're like, wow, like, yeah. they do a big cookout there. So we're gonna do that. And I think we're just gonna go to church on Sunday. I have a couple gifts to give some ladies at church. Of course, it's color related because these two actually color. So, and they don't have this book. They don't have any of the Hannah Carlson books. So I picked up the Daydreams for each of them. So that's my little gift to them for Mother's Day / just, you know, want to give. So I'm not sure what my husband and my kids have planned for me. They don't like to tell me anything, but I ask a lot of questions and they're like, no, you gotta wait, stop asking. And so the other day, I said, Christian, go ask Kai what he got mommy for Mother's Day. So Christian's like, he's not gonna tell me. I'm like, just try. See, he might tell you, but he might tell you it's a secret. Don't tell mommy. So he goes in and, what'd you get mommy for Mother's Day? Then I hear, stop asking, Christian. Come ask me because I'm not telling. Stop asking. Oh, Christian around say, he's not telling me. He won't tell me. I told you. I thought it was funny. You know, he didn't say, tell mom none of your business or nothing like that. He's like, Mom, stop sending him back there to ask me because I'm not telling you. Yeah, that's me. I don't want to know, but I do, but you know, it's just being, I'm just being silly with them. All right. So the next flower we're going to do, we're going to speed on through this one. Okay, guys. So enjoy the music. so we're done with layer 2, and that is with peach. Next, we're going to use cantaloupe. And I'm going to put this cantaloupe here, and I'm not going to shade here in this section. This is straight coloring on this part. Okay, right here. And this is medium to heavy pressure, so it shows up nice and strong. Okay, all right, so now we're going to use this same cantaloupe color, and we're going to do some more shading. So I'm going to have to use a little heavy pressure because I really want that to show up. Okay, and just taking it about a third of the way down from where I colored the peach. Get that in there. So I'm going to go ahead and speed color through this as well, guys. Enjoy the music. have finished the peach flowers. So next we're going to work on this flower here. We're going to use blue. The blue. So the very first blue I'm going to use is Wild Blue Yonder. Wild Blue Yonder, y'all. And I've decided to leave this white around the edge, okay? So I'm not going to color the edge. So I'm doing a light layer of the Wild Blue Yonder. The names of these are so cute. Some of these pencils have really cute names. You know, I always wondered how easy it was to get these in Europe. If you're watching and you're from Europe, is it hard to get Crayola? How much do you have to pay for a 120 pack of Crayola? I've always wondered that because, you know, here we can get the 100 pack for like between, I want to say $7 and $10, unless that's changed. The last time when I bought my 100 pack, I think it was like almost $10. So I'm not really sure how much they cost right now. But I do know the 120 pack is like $20. So they must have gone up in price. All right, so we have our first layer of blue. And I'm gonna just use blue in these, but I'm only gonna use the darker two blues. So I'm only gonna be shading with 2 colors on these 2 flowers here, 3 colors on this one. Okay, so I'll go ahead and add, no, that's not. Okay, so then the middle blue is going to be Cornflower. And I'm adding Cornflower to this. I'm not going to get too fancy with the shading because this video is very long, you guys. So I'm just going to do some quick shading here. So I decided to leave these little lines white. I'm gonna have to erase a little bit there because I did color that blue by accident. Going back over this little area here and just bring it up here just a little bit. Same with over here, just a little bit. All right, so we're gonna go to this petal, doing the same thing. Come up this side here, and then I'm gonna go a little bit over here. Try not to get any of this blue on the white, but I have seemed to get some on there, but that's okay. We can always erase it. All right, we're gonna go on this side and do the same thing. it up a little bit. Lighter as you get to the middle. Same over here, doing the same thing. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the same blue and color the first layer of these flowers here. I'm not gonna get fancy with these flowers. I was gonna do them a different color, but I decided not to. I was gonna add purple, but I'm gonna keep this very simple. Okay, so first layer. Again, first layer is cornflower. Okay. First layer for this one's going to be cornflower as well. And I'm leaving the edge white on this one. And I'm gonna color these right here with the darkest blue. Okay, so we're done with cornflower. All right, so next we're gonna go to our darkest blue, which is going to be Cerulean. And I'm going to take the Cerulean over here. I'm just going to bring that up. I'm going to add some up here too. Just try to change the flower up just a little bit since I'm not doing 3 colors. Just adding some in this little section here, and then just bringing it down to this base, kind of like in a, almost like a V shape. Trying not to get the sides because I want to keep those light. Okay, so doing the same thing. All right. Down here we have some petals here. Do the same thing. Just like that. Okay. All right, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna add some cerulean to this one. I'm gonna get a little dark down where it V's or where it's at the base here. Try to blend that out just a little bit. Again, we're only doing 2 colors on these because the video is very long. I wanted to get these flowers done so that we have less to do in the next. Because I want to try to get these done in like, 3 videos, depending on the size of the book. This book is pretty small, so I don't want to make this last too long, again, dark where that meets and a little light towards the end of the petal. Dark down here. Gonna bring that up with a lighter touch, just to shade that a little bit. All right, so now we're gonna take this same blue and I'm just going to add this over the whole thing, but I'm gonna shade it, okay? So I'm gonna start dark down here, and as I get towards the tip, I'm just gonna lighten it up. These are gonna be simple flowers, okay? I'm gonna be very simple in this. All right, so we're gonna go to this third one here, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna keep it dark down at the base and lighten it up as we get towards the tip. So this is basically shading with one pencil. It's possible, it can be difficult, because sometimes you might, like I did here, go a little bit too far. You have to do some adjusting, going over it a little bit more. Try to fill in the white space as much as you can with a light touch. So we're shading with just one pencil for this section. All right, we're leaving this white. All right, so the next flower we're gonna work on is this last one in the middle. We'll actually have this one too. I think I'll get this on the next video because it's a small little thing. All right, so we're gonna just work on this one now. I'm just gonna add this blue down here where, you know, it meets to the center. And I'm gonna just bring it up a little bit. Add just a little here in the corners. Do the same thing over here. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, guys, because nothing is perfect. You just have to, you know, go with the flow. Sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. Sorry about the background noise. We got somebody sneezing. All right, so we're gonna go to this one now. Do the same thing. Now, I don't really know how to color these flowers. Many flowers I don't know how to color. I just do what I feel. So if I'm doing it wrong, sorry. But what you learn on my channel is it doesn't matter. It's the way that I want to do it and the way that you want to do it. So don't ever let anyone make you feel bad about how you're coloring something. No one's ever done that to me, but you know, for those of you out there like, oh, if somebody said they didn't color that flower right, well, they did color it right because they colored it the way they wanted to color it. If you're going for realistic coloring, then yeah, you can reference, you know, different flowers if you're trying to get that look, but coloring is supposed to be fun and carefree. So if you don't want to do realistic coloring of flowers, you don't have to. So don't let anybody ever steal your shine. Okay? So, okay, so we're done with the cerulean blue for this flower, but I'm gonna go back with this wild blue yonder because I really like this color, and I'm going to just add a little bit of this, you know, over the areas here, just a little bit, just a tad. So I like this color. Add that. I'm not pressing hard, very light, just going over that area. All right, so that's coloring with the wild blue yonder over that. All right, guys, so that is all I'm going to do for tonight. Keeping the outside of these flowers white, and then we'll do the rest of this hopefully in the next video. If anything, we'll probably just work on these things and maybe go into a fourth video. We shall see. But there you guys have it. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. All right, so that's how it's looking so far. And I kind of like the colors that I've chosen. I think they complement each other. And this is turning out to be a great page. All right, guys, until next time, take care.